So today we're gonna be talking about a little bit of a different topic today, but it's about relationship with our parents. Back then when I was first accepted Jesus, yes, I would attend church. Every Sunday I would read the Bible maybe once a week, or I will read the Bible only at church where they have the verse there. And at first I was like, I am not bearing that much fruit. Like there's no patience, there's no loving kindness, or I mean there's kindness in me that time. I'm not saying I'm evil, but back then, whenever my mom would lash out, do you have that moment? I think all of us can relate when you have this moment with your mom, you're at home, or your parents, where they just rage bait you for no reason. Like they don't do it intentionally, but they sort of say something that is quite starting a conflict, or in a sense it annoys you, it stimulates anger in you. So back then I would have these times where I would argue, I would fight, I would get into fight with my mom, not physically, right? But I would argue, I would talk about, I would be so disrespectful, I would increase my tone, I will shout, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, you're attending in church. Why you're doing that? And you're doing this, and you're attending in church every Sunday. You're no, you're basically they're saying I'm a larper, right?" Well, that was true back then when it was like 2024, late 2024. I'm a newly Christian born believer that time. I was struggling a lot with a bit with my. I have some things in my life that are not bearing fruit that time. But yeah, recently I've made a realization that I I sort of ascended in that part, kasi when when my mom gets angry, or even my brother, like I would, yeah, there's some times where I would get annoyed, I would get angry, but it's not to the point where I would react anymore. I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? I still lash out sometimes, but I noticed I've made considerably huge amount of progress so far in terms of emotional control, or s- dealing with conflict, or with I know with stuff that are full of pressure, or emotional stuff. For example, arguing, or your mom, your brother got angry at you. So how do you react? How will you manage that? Will you put more fire into that already blazing furnace, or would you be the ascended one and try to de-escalate things? So I've noticed I'm actually getting good at de-escalating things, or in a sense being a peacemaker, just as like Jesus has said. I know there's some times where, of course, I'm not perfect, I'm not the pinnacle, right? I would still get angry. But I've noticed with my mom, for example, she would nag a lot, she would nag, or she would get hysterical, like she would scream or shout. I'm a Filipino. I'm Filipino, if you didn't know. So it is very normal in here. So yeah, but as I walk with the Lord, as I seek Him, as I pray, as I just follow Him. Of course, there's a lot of things I need to be improving, even though right now I made a lot of progress. But just in terms of that, and also meditating, I've talked about it in the past. But meditation, prayer, reading the Word, or reading the Bible, it helped me. ascend. Like this is through ascension. Like all of these looks maxers, all of these things, all of these people, all of these kids or young guys, yeah, they get insecure a lot about their looks, but how much they're insecure about their character. Back then, I was so that was very painful for me when I was thinking of that. Oh, I'm attending church and I'm this and I scream at my brother and I get in fights with my mom. I get I'm not being the light and salt. So right now, I'm just so grateful because these things I don't know how to explain it, but ever since that pain, ever since I felt that pain, I did not stop. You know, I keep attending. I got discipled. I read the Bible even though sometimes I get inconsistent. I prayed even though I mess up. I pray even though I just sinned, right? I'm so I'm so amazed because this is the truth, the word, wisdom, it teaches you the Bible teaches you how to be a man, capable man, a strong man, like Jesus. If you think about it, Jesus is the perfect pinnacle of masculinity. He's very strong, like he's very powerful. He can he's very physical. He's a carpenter. Okay, that's a physical part. He's he can command angels. He can heal people, and also he's kind. But again, he is still dangerous. He flipped tables, right? At one point. Of course, I'm not saying we should flip tables as well, but he's very powerful. So a lot of these guys look up to Tate, to Clavicular, and think that it's the pinnacle, or they look up to these guys, and they're lost. And I was once like them, but ever since that ever since that day, my life has changed. I know there's a lot of things that I can make a progress with. Wait, mom. Make progress with. So just that, I just got disturbed. But anyways, we ball. So yeah, these things work, man. Meditation, journaling. If you are inconsistent right now, as I am, I'm struggling with consistency on these parts or in these things I talk about. I'm gonna be honest. But if you are persistent enough to keep doing these things, to keep doing, the things will help you, you're gonna progress. Your character will improve. How you deal with pressure. I remember when I had a job and at like fast food, and at that time I was very new. It's my first job, and at that time I learned how to deal with pressure. I should also had a breakup that time. One thing that really kept me in check was the word, meditation, lifting, training. So these things work, man. I know it's gonna be boring sometimes. I know seems like there's no result. There's no, oh, why am I been doing this? But if you keep doing it, you keep showing up every day, you notice one day your mom is gonna be at your space screaming, and you're like very calm, very stable. You're not gonna lash out. Not gonna react with anger as well. So if you're struggling with that, I suggest that you know work work on your character. Like be a better human, right? Read your word, read the Bible, seek God, gratitude journal every day if you can. Meditate. That's the thing. Meditate. It allows you to observe your thoughts and feelings and be detached, or It's not really detached, but not really detached, but sort of unaffected, or not immediately clawing or being one with your emotions. Oh yeah, I want to talk a lot of things. I don't want to box myself with just one niche or topic like lifting or bulking. But I'm experimenting, I'm exploring stuff. So yeah, honor your parents. That's it.